1 year ago, Maria Sharapova shocked tennis fans when she revealed she had failed a drug test.
A few days ago, I received a letter from the ITF that I had failed a drug test at the Australian Open. I did fail the test, and I take full responsibility for it.
The Russian tennis star admitted taking the banned substance meldonium. She had taken it since 2006, but it was only banned on the 1st of January 2016. The five-time Grand Slam champion was initially banned for 2 years by the International Tennis Federation, but the penalty was reduced to 15 months by the Court of Arbitration for Sport. Now the 29-year-old tennis player is ready to return to action. She was granted a wildcard entry to Stuttgart's Tennis Grand Prix.
And although I'm at a stage and an age in my career and in my life where you're closer to the end than you are to the beginning, you always want to end your career or a chapter in your life on your terms and in your voice. And to be in a moment where you feel or you felt like it could have ended on someone else's voice and someone else's terms was very difficult to accept, and that's why I fought so hard for the truth to be out.
While Sharapova may feel vindicated, that doesn't mean that everyone feels the same. There have been objections voiced against her getting wildcards to tournaments instead of fighting her way through qualifying. While the anger over her admission of doping may have started to fade, the first time she serves in Stuttgart won't erase the stain on her career.
No, it certainly won't. So, to get more on the story, we're joined now by our tennis regular, Eleanor Crooks. Eleanor, thank you so much for coming on. Now, first things first, how do you think that the tennis world is going to welcome back Sharapova? As a tennis legend or as a drug cheat?
Well, I think it depends on who you talk to. The WTA have been very positive about Sharapova's return. Obviously, they know, she's one of the biggest stars. I think women's tennis at the moment is not a particularly great era, and there is a recognition that women's tennis needs Maria Sharapova. She's a player that a lot of fans want to see. So they're certainly pushing hard, I think, for her to be welcomed back. As we've heard from a lot of players in the locker room, it's not quite the same feeling, but I think that's got a lot to do with the relationship or maybe the lack of relationship that she has with the other players. She's never gone out of her way to make friends. She sees tennis as her business, and once her matches are over, she's off. She's not hanging around chatting in the locker room or playing computer games with anyone. So I think had this been a different player in the same situation, I think the response among the players would have been different. I think it's a lot to do with the fact that it's Sharapova.
Well, she certainly does seem to feel very vindicated after how some of the things have developed regarding her ban. Do you think that she's right to feel that way?
Well, I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? I think that contrite press conference that we saw a clip of there that she gave admitting that she'd failed the test, that certainly didn't sort of set the stall for the way that she was going to handle things from then on. Ever since the Court of Arbitration for Sport ruling came out, reducing the ban to 15 months, her PR effort and the PR effort of IMG behind her has been very much that, she was wronged by being given a 2-year ban, and that, she's had to fight to kind of prove her innocence. But of course, she's serving a 15-month ban, so she's not innocent in any way. The vindication that she will feel is that CAS and actually the ITF panel who gave her the 2-year ban did conclude that she didn't intend to cheat. So I think, people who are calling a drugs cheat, that isn't really borne out by the facts. There's been a very clear statement from those bodies that she didn't intentionally cheat. But, she did take a bad substance and she's paid the price for that. So I think, yes, I think her attitude of vindication will get a lot of people's backs up.
Okay, now she's been granted a wildcard entry to the Stuttgart's Tennis Grand Prix. Do you think that was the right choice to do that for her? Or is this going to set a precedent for other events as well?
Well, I mean, she's already been given wildcards into other events. So, yes, I think a lot of events will absolutely fall over themselves to invite Maria Sharapova, because she's going to be a huge draw, and even more so now that there's this narrative around her. I think the Stuttgart one is problematic largely because her ban doesn't actually end until 3 days into the event. She's been told that she can play her first match on Wednesday, so that complies with the rules. And although, you know, clearly she hasn't broken a rule and the wild card, she's allowed to get the wild card, I think there's a feeling that the rules have been interpreted in such a way to allow her to come back at this event, which is sponsored by her own personal sponsor, Porsche. So I think it doesn't look great, and it's pretty murky, and there's a lot of people, a lot of players who aren't happy, who feel like that tennis is rolling out the red carpet for somebody who's only in this situation, you know, through a mistake that they made. It's not like she's been injured. She's been off the tour because she made a very serious mistake. And yeah, there's a lot of people that feel like she should have to work her way back, that she shouldn't be given a free pass into some of the biggest tournaments in the sport.
Well, I'm sure it's going to be very interesting to see how it all plays out. Eleanor, thank you very much for weighing in.